Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call. I'm baffled on why the Browns draft a player for a certain position and then move them to a slot where they didn't perform that position in college. The same thing happened with Jedrick Wills, and now Haslam is trying to be part owner of the Bucks. It's like he's using the players as like their resources or cattle or something to sell to market. I have a problem with that. So I would just like to see the Browns, like the Green Bay Packers, own their own team. Thanks for taking my question.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Scott, we've had a couple of questions about that. Packers are grandfathered in, meaning there's not going to be a municipally owned football team in the NFL. It's not going to happen. It would bankrupt the city because it's in the billions of dollars to own a franchise. As far as Jimmy Haslam doesn't have anything to do with the players being switched around. Newsome is different than Wills. I get the thought with, Wills was a right tackle, and switching him to left tackle, that's tough. Newsome was more out of, a thought than they planned on that.
Yeah, I don't think there's. It's not like they're asking him to play safety, right? He's playing outside versus inside. That's what you do. I don't think a whole lot of guys get drafted in the NFL only playing slot nickel in college, because your best guys are outside. And then the ones that fit the body type, fit the quickness, agility aspect of it, which Greg has and some guys don't, right? Greedy Williams couldn't play in the slot. We'll see if Martin Emerson Jr. can't. He feels too big to me to play in the slot. That's just, kind of how Greg fits in that role. I get it. Wills has not lived up to the number 10 pick in the draft, but I don't think it's because he's playing on the left side. To me, Jed Wills' biggest issues are consistency and the willingness to finish plays, which he admits that he continues to work on. And that doesn't matter if you're on the left side or right side. So, I think the Browns have a lot of problems. I don't know if I would put those, moving guys out of position. To me, that's not a real concern.
Also brought up the story about Jimmy Haslam potentially purchasing a minority interest in the Bucks. He already, the Haslam Group already owns the Columbus Crew of Major League Soccer.
Yeah, I find that really interesting. The fact that they want their family legacy to be about professional sports ownership. And they're not the only ones. There's a lot of families out there, a lot of people that own multiple sports franchises. It's easier to do now. There used to be restrictions about owning multiple, teams across multiple sports. That's changed within the last, 5 or 10 years. But it's obviously obvious that the Haslams really enjoy this and expanded to the Crew. Now we're looking to expand to the NBA. And, if I had a ton of money, I might do that too, because it seems like a smart investment. It seems like a lot of fun. Obviously, they enjoy being around professional athletes in that environment. It's a different environment. I think it's a fun and exciting environment. And what's interesting about the Bucks, which I just learned today, is they don't really have a majority owner. There's like 4 people or 4 groups that own a quarter of the franchise. So they kind of take turns with who's in charge, I guess, is the main owner. So it's an interesting area to go into. The Bucks have won a championship recently. Maybe Jimmy Haslam could learn something.